What do you call this, Derek? What do you call this little game of yours? I thought it was a vendetta at first, but I think it's more than that, isn't it?
What are you talking about?
You could have killed my sister. She's not that strong. She could have hemorrhaged and died, and you would have killed her. Be quite a little feather in your cap, wouldn't it, huh? You killed my sister, put her husband in prison. Maybe you think that's all I'd need to go over the edge of that cliff, huh? To fall and keep on falling into that river. The river where my poor crazy mother drowned.
Miles, you're sick.
You'd do anything to get me out of Nicole's life. Anything. Well, maybe you'll be out of her life first. Or maybe you'll put you out of your own life. I'll stop. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. Ah.
God, stop. I don't want to have to hurt you.
Roger, go ahead, shoot me. Shoot me. Go in self-defense. Go ahead.
Chief, what's going on? Doc and I just had a little disagreement.
What's the matter with the doc?
Doc is fine.
He's had a lot on his mind lately. Let him cool off downstairs.
I'm gonna let you get away
Sure
with this,
thing,
Derek.
Chief. Let's go.
I'm gonna let you get away with this.
Hello, Nancy.
Dad, hi. What are you still doing here?
Well, Peter Winslow is doing a sidebar on that arson story, so we have to remake the front page for the early edition.
Oh.
I hope I'm not interrupting you.
No. I'm due for a break anyway. Well, I'm honored having the editor-in-chief come by and say hello to one of his lowly reporters.
One of his best reporters.
Thank you. You, seem a bit low. What's the matter, Dad?
A lot of people say that reading the paper depresses them. I thought I was immune to that, but I'm sorry I had to give it a banner headline, Nancy. Didn't have much choice.
Yeah. Well, I guess it is the most important local news.
Should see the coverage the Monticello Star is giving it.
Oh, yes? Their usual three-ring circus treatment? Son-in-law clubs mother-in-law to death? I mean, that's just up their alley.
That was a fine piece you did there, Nancy. Journalism students should clip it and keep it as an example of objectivity.
Yeah, this was one of the most difficult pieces I've ever had to do. If it hadn't been Draper, if it had been
I know how you feel about it.
I mean, it's impossible to think he could commit that crime.
With everything I know about the young man, seems inconsistent with the charge, but much as I'd like to believe him, I'd also have to believe in miracles to imagine that anybody else could have done it.
The police had to have missed something. I wish I could have intimated that in the article.
But you couldn't. Objectivity, remember?
Exactly. That's what I mean. I just hope that there's one fact that hasn't been reported yet.
One that will exonerate Draper, huh?
Yeah, that's true. Excuse me. Nancy Carr.
I got the time and the place, Nancy.
Who's that?
No wonder you reporters write everything down. You got a rotten memory.
Benny.
Here. Would you forget about our little rendezvous?
No, I didn't.
Okay, good. I'm at a place called the Penny Whistle Pub. It's on Willow and the corner of Smith Street. You think you could be here in about a half hour?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, good. Oh, you got a good heart, lady.
Well, listen, Benny, you are going to live up to your end of the bargain now, aren't you?
Yeah. Listen, I was really mean to you, and I told you as soon as I could see you, I'd make it up to you, and I will, just as soon as you get here.
All right, I'll see you in a little while.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, I can't tell you how much this means to me, Mrs. Carr. Bye-bye. This is some lady. Ow.
Well, that's the second unpleasant thing I have to have done today. I wonder what the record is.
That was Benny Hayes.
Yes, he's going to get a chance to make good on his promise.
I thought Portrait of a Pusher had been relegated to the circular file.
Suddenly he seems anxious to tell me his story.
Just like that, huh?
Yeah, well, I think there's a method to his madness. His case comes into court soon, and his attorney told him it would be best if he fulfilled all his obligations. Besides, he thinks he would like me to be a character witness.
After what he tried to pull, you shouldn't feel under any obligation to help him.
I know, Dad, but he's a kid, and well, the idea of his going to prison...
I think that's exactly where he belongs. If he wants to make restitution, tell him he could send us a check for that $500 he got out of his...
Oh, that's long since gone.
Nancy, I'd prefer that you leave things as they are. I don't like the idea of your meeting that man again.
But, Dad, I know the kind of person I'm dealing with. I won't take any chances. That's where I'll be, okay?
Nice neighborhood.
Well, I'll call you in exactly an hour. And if you don't hear from me, send a policeman over, okay?
Nancy, do me a favor. Tell Mike what you're doing. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to go with you.
Dad, he's dealing with something much more important.
Well, let him be the judge of that.
He's with Draper over at police headquarters.
Come off it, Benny. We know the kind of chicks you hang out with.
Yeah, and they ain't the greatest.
I'm telling you guys, this ain't one of the local bimbos. This babe's got class. I mean, it's written all over her, you know? She's a real lady.
Yeah?
Yeah.
If she's such a hot number, what's she doing with you?
It's animal magnetism, I guess. You know, whenever we get together, she just can't keep her hands off me.
You're lying.
A girl would have to be nuts to fall for a mug like you.
Hey, you wait till you see her. You're gonna eat them words, Sonny.
Don't hold your breath, Benny.
This babe is one friendly one. And she has no idea just how friendly things are gonna be tonight.
Oh, Mike. I can't believe I used to tell my clients to try to relax during all this. Never realized how dirty the booking process made you feel.
You don't look any worse for the wear.
Mike, I just want to get out of here.
Well, I'm sure the bail ticket will arrive momentarily.
Bail? Mike, you must have pulled a lot of strings. Bail on a murder rap?
Judge Waterbury is well aware of your reputation, and he realizes how important it is for you to be with April right now. He had no objections to releasing you on your own recognizance.
Yeah. You know, Mike, I used to think I had a lot of friends in the legal profession. Now it turns out that they're all my advisors. I talked to Logan this morning. He said that they're going to try to convene the grand jury within 24 hours.
Well, I'm not so sure it's wise to go ahead that quickly. We could allow the police more time to come up with other suspects.
No, Mike, I want to get this over with as soon as possible.
Draper, I know you don't want any false optimism from me. You don't give your clients any. I don't operate
Mike,
that way.
I know what you're going to tell me.
Considering the evidence the police have put together, I don't see how an indictment can be avoided.
Mike, if there were anybody else involved in this case, I'd say it was open and shut. Mike, I'm scared.
All right, but don't forget, you're innocent. We're going to walk out of that courtroom with a verdict of not guilty.
Mike, we have to. Not for me, for April. Mike, she just lost her mother. Margot's gone. Now, if I end up going to jail, she's not going to be able to handle it.
There is no point in that kind of conjecture. It's going to work out, and you have to believe that.
When are we going to get out of here? Nicole was supposed to pick up April at the hospital and take her home. They should be there by now. It's important that I spend as much...
Hello, Mike. Draper, anytime you're ready, you're free to go.
Thanks a lot.
We appreciate your handling it, Chief.
Well,
I must really rate Chief of Police coming down here to get me out of jail.
I came down here for other reasons. Mike, I wonder if you could take on a new client.
Well, with Draper in my present caseload, I'm afraid that would be a lot of trouble.
It's Miles Cavanaugh.
Miles? Why does Miles need a lawyer?
I was forced to arrest him a little while ago. He's facing a possible assault charge.
Assault charge? What happened?
He wasn't too pleased when he'd heard I had Draper arrested. He came up to my office, let me know how he felt about it in no uncertain terms. Practically wrung my neck, but I subdued him.
Was anyone hurt?
No, but I put him in a cell for his own protection. He's right down the corridor.
What are you doing here?
Could ask you the same question.
How'd you know I was in here?
Mallory told me he thought I ought to talk to you.
Well, they're gonna charge me with attempted murder.
I have a feeling there won't be any charge. But I would like to know what happened.
I lost my head, I guess, a little bit.
Mallory claims that you tried to attack him.
I don't know what happened. I lost my head.
Because you were upset about Draper?
You bet I was upset about Draper. How could Mallory do this to him, Mike?
His responsibility is to deal with the facts as presented to him. He can't let personal opinion influence him.
No. He knows Draper's innocent. He knows that as well as you and I know that.
All right, but that's up to the courts to
He's
decide.
railroading Draper. It's my fault.
I'm afraid I don't follow you, Miles.
It's a long story, Mike, but the fact is that Mallory's got it in for me. He's had it in for me for a long time.
What do you mean?
He knows that I'm very fond of April. He knows it would hurt April to arrest Draper. He's getting back at me through my own family.
Oh, you don't believe
it's
that?
It's a vendetta, Mike, believe me, yes.
Oh, I'm sure that's not his reason.
Yes, it is his reason.
Miles, is Nicole aware of what happened?
No, I didn't use my one phone call. I didn't want to bother anybody, you know.
You didn't want to bother your wife?
Might be best if I never bother Nicole again.
So you lost your temper. Nicole will understand that.
I moved out of the house. Maybe that's not enough. I have to get her out of her life completely. Sooner the better.
You can't mean that.
The only solution, Mike. It's the only solution.
Miles, you're not thinking clearly right now.
I know. And I'm going to be thinking less and less clearly all the time.
Would you try to relax?
My mind is going, Mike. It's almost gone. I'm one of the 10%.
What 10%?
My mother had a mental disorder, and I've always known there's a 10% chance I might inherit it, and I've got all the symptoms, so now it's just a matter of time.
Maybe you should think about getting professional help.
Maybe Nicole be just as happy being rid of me.
She loves you,
and
Miles.
She can just live happily ever after with her chief of police.
You're not making any sense, Miles.
It's obvious, Mike. Didn't you know?
Look, it's been a long day. I'll see to it that you're released in a little while. By then, I'm sure you'll be feeling better.
Boy, I wish I could pace. I think I'd feel better.
No, don't think about it. You can't move. The doctor told you to rest.
Oh, God, what Draper must be going through right now down at headquarters. You know, I remember what it was like to be arrested. I started to feel like a criminal.
Draper's gonna be all right.
Well, one good thing at least is that the judge let him go. I was afraid he was going to have to stay in jail.
He's gonna be home any minute. Relax, finish your tea. You know, gotta think good thoughts.
What are they?
No. It's hard. So much has happened. You're gonna have to find a lot of strength now, you know?
Nicole, I'm not so sure I have much strength left inside me right now.
Oh, yes, you do. You'll find it, too. Draper's gonna be looking to you for support, and I know how much you want to have a healthy baby.
You will. You know, a month ago, Draper and I were happy. We were expecting our first baby. Do you know, Draper and Margot were even starting to get along. I thought everything was wonderful, and I couldn't wait for the future because Because everything looked terrific.
I know. And as hard as it is to believe right now, you're going to get over losing Margot with time. And the situation with Draper is very bad, but, you know, it could turn out well, and the future be exactly what you were hoping for. You gotta believe that, because it'll help you get through.
Help both of us, huh? Draper!
Hey, sweetheart. I use this place as a hideout. The coppers are right behind me.
It's not even funny.
Oh, I'm glad to see you. How do you feel?
Now that you're home, I feel fine.
Listen, she needs plenty of rest. Those are doctor's orders.
Oh, just thanks for taking care of her, Nicole.
Oh, it was my pleasure, but now that you're here, I'm gonna go home and see if I can spend a little time with Adam before I tuck him in.
Hey, thanks for everything, huh?
I want to call you and ask you how you are, okay? Yeah. And you remember what I said?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for coming.
Sure, baby.
Bye-bye. Bye. Whoa. Get over there.
Oh, alone at last.
You've had quite a day, huh?
Well, it's not been so bad.
I don't want you to go away, Draper. I am not going to let them take you away.
Don't worry, baby. You're not going to lose your husband, and Julie is not going to lose her father.
Betty wasn't lying. She sure is some knockout.
Yeah. Guess she wasn't too bad after all.
Benny, look, before we go any further, there's one condition I want to tell you.
Yeah, look, you're doing me the favor, Mrs. Carr. If I can do anything to help you out, I will.
Well, an associate of mine at the paper knows exactly where I am right now. And unless I check in with him and tell him I'm all right, he has instructions to call the police and have him over here.
Oh, yeah, look, I'm not looking for any trouble. None. I'll tell you what. I'll even give you a dime for the phone call. How's that? Huh?
Now, would you like to start now?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm gonna tell you everything. Honest. And you're gonna keep up your end of the bargain, too, right? I mean, if I need a witness at my trial, you're gonna be available.
Well, that depends on how cooperative you are.
Oh, yeah. And Mrs. Carr, I'm gonna give you a story tonight you're not gonna forget. I can promise you that.
Okay. Would you go on?
Yeah, sure. Wait a minute. I can't talk. You see those two dudes over at the bar? Don't stare at them. Listen, they know me, and they probably recognize you from your picture in the paper. Look, if I get caught talking to a reporter, that's it. I gotta go.
No, wait a minute. We could go to another bar.
Wait, I got a better idea. I can take you back to my place.
No, someplace more public.
No, my office. This could really make your story, Mrs. Carr. I mean, I could literally show you how I operate. The pusher story from his very own office. What do you think?
Your office?
Yeah.
All right. But just give me the address and the telephone.
All right, give me a pencil. Come on. Hurry it up. Come on. See, I told you I was going to cooperate, right? Okay. The telephones are right by the washrooms, all right? When I say go, we go. Okay.
Miles, why don't you come home with me? Have dinner with us.
Oh, it's very generous, Mike, but I can't tonight.
Well, it might not be the best thing for you to spend the night
No,
alone.
I gotta go see Nicole. We have to talk.
Do you think you're in the proper frame of mind?
Yeah, I can't let this situation go on, so I'm gonna go on over there.
Well, all right, but if you need anything, let me know.
Thanks. Thanks for everything.
Nancy Carr, please. Oh, Joe, it's Mike. Is Nancy there? Oh, I see. Well, can you give me the address? What's she doing in that neighborhood?
Working on a story, unfortunately.
What story?
Nancy decided to resurrect Portrait of a Pusher. She's at that address meeting with Benny Hayes.
Wait a minute, this isn't 127 Spruce. This is your father's shop.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I always get the numbers mixed up. Yeah, my office is in his shop. That's where I do my business from. That's where all the books are and stuff I told you about. Come on, my father's home. Hey, Dad, I'm home. I got company. Come on. This is where all the information is. You know. Oh, sorry. You said you wanted to see how I operate, right? Well, I mean to show you.
I have to go see Nicole. We have to talk.
Do you think you're in the proper frame of mind?
Yeah, I can't let the situation go on any longer. I gotta go over there now.
Well, all right, Miles, but if you need anything, let me know.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for everything.
Nancy Carr, please. Oh, Joe, it's Mike. Is Nancy there? Oh, I see. Well, look, give me the address, would you? What's she doing in that neighborhood?
Working on a story, unfortunately.
What story?
Well, Nancy decided to resurrect Portrait of a Pusher. She's at that address now, meeting with Benny Hayes.
I thought that story was filed and forgotten.
Nancy decided to give Mr. Hayes another chance to tell his story and to make good on the money he got out of us.
Considering all the stunts that guy's pulled, I don't think that was too wise.
I'm concerned too, Mike. First of all, they were going to meet at some bar. Then Nancy just phoned and said they were going to his place and gave me that address.
Joe, that guy's got something up his sleeve.
I'm just about to call a friend of mine up at the 8th Precinct and ask him to go over there and make sure everything was all right.
Don't bother, Joe. I'm on my way over there right now.
Wait a minute, this isn't 127 Spruce. This is your father's shop.
Oh, I always get the numbers mixed up. Yeah, I work out of my father's shop. That's where my office is. It's where the records are I told you about. Come on, my old man's even home. Hey, Pop, I'm home. I got company, all right? Come on, this is where all the books are and stuff. You said you want to see how I operate, right? Well, I intend to show you.
What are you going to do?
No, Mrs. Carr, you really haven't treated me so nice. I mean, ratting on me to the cops. But I always liked you. So now I'm just going to show you how much.
Meaning what?
Well, I'd like to talk about it.
Look, Benny, you don't want any more trouble. You're in enough as it is. Why add to it?
I ain't gonna get in no trouble. Why should I? You want to be here. I got witnesses. My two friends back at the bar. I wasn't afraid of them seeing us together. I wanted them to. They saw you leave the place with me of your own free will. I told them how you couldn't wait to be alone with me.
Do you think anybody's going to believe that?
Yeah. Well, if you just change your mind after leading me on like that, you know, Ain't nobody gonna blame me. Right? Come on, Mrs. Carr. You wanted this. So let's just get to it.
Benny, there's a rumor that you deliver the pills with the flowers.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'll let you in on a little secret. There's enough stuff stashed in here to keep everybody in Monticello flying for a month. You want a little something to relax? Huh?
So you just slip the pills in with the delivery.
Yeah, that's right.
So all the person has to do is phone an order in, huh?
Oh, yeah, I invented my own little system. See, my customers would call up and order a flower the color of the pill they wanted.
It's very clever.
Yeah. See, that way, if the cops tried to tap my phone, all they heard was old Benny. Delivering a lot of different color flowers, you know?
Please, let me out of here, please.
You're gonna make them. Come on.
Oh, they're waiting for my call at the paper, Benny.
Yeah, well, you're gonna love every minute of this, lady.
Don't, no!
It's gonna get nice and warm in here now.
Don't stop.
Thought you were sleeping.
Oh, no, just drifting. Trying to take Nicole's advice and think happy thoughts.
Were you able?
I don't know. I suppose so. I haven't felt this relaxed in days.
That's good. The doctor told you to ease up on yourself, not worry so much.
Well, you're the one who makes me feel this good, and as long as you're here, I'll be just fine.
And there's nothing to worry about. Because here is where I'm going to stay. I'm not going anywhere.
For the time being.
Hey, come on, happy thoughts.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Do you know what day it is today?
Day after yesterday? Day before tomorrow?
Oh, come on, smart Alec.
What? Give me a hint.
Okay. Does a heart-shaped box of candy mean anything to you?
Mm-hmm. A lot of calories.
It's Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day? 2 weeks ago was just Groundhog Day.
Well,
Time really goes
time
fast.
flies when you're having a good time. I feel rotten about it.
So do I. You know, when I was a little boy, I was traumatized by Valentine's Day.
Why?
Well, in grade school, the little girls and the little boys would pass Valentine's
Those
back
little
here. I'm the only guy that didn't get one.
Well, then I don't feel nearly as bad, because in keeping with tradition, you're not going to get one this year.
Hey, don't you want to be my Valentine?
Of course I do.
Do you remember our first Valentine's Day? And the gift I got you?
No?
That's it. Get up.
Of course I do. It was a memento of our picnic in the park.
Mm-hmm. We found the carousel that wouldn't work.
Oh, and you gave the guy big bucks just to get it going for us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what that DA says, the jury's going to find Draper innocent. You take my word for it.
Wish I could be so sure.
Oh. Look, when they see his sweet, innocent, adorable, handsome face, they're going to know he couldn't hurt a fly. Case dismissed.
If Draper is going to stay out of jail, Mike Carr's going to have to come up with a slightly better defense than that.
Oh, I'll get it. Who's that knocking at our door? Oh, Doc.
Hello, Mrs. Goodman.
Welcome home.
Miles,
May I come in?
this is your home.
Come on in, Doc. You know, I was telling Mrs. C that sooner or later you're going to be coming back because you couldn't leave a terrific girl like that.
Mrs. Goodman,
You know, you look pretty rotten, Doc. Would you like some supper or something?
No, nothing. Thank you, Miss.
Mrs. Goodman, would you mind leaving us alone?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Good to have you back, Doc.
Hi.
You're home.
Nicole, I just came here because I have to talk to you, that's all. I can't stay.
I see.
Something, sort of terrible happened this afternoon, and I thought you ought to know about it.
What now?
Listen, I want you to understand that I didn't mean for it to happen. I couldn't help myself.
What did you do?
When I heard that Draper was arrested, I got very upset. And I decided to tell Chief Mallory how I felt about what he'd done.
Well, he didn't have any choice. He was just doing his job.
I went to his office, and I guess I lost my head. I tried to attack him.
What?
Spent the better part of the afternoon in a detention cell cooling off.
Were you hurt?
Oh, no. But I would still be there if it weren't for my car. He happened by. He was working on Draper's case, and he heard about me, and he managed to get me out.
Were you arrested?
No, I don't think Chief Mallory intends to press charges. Mike took care of that.
What's happening to you?
Nicole, I'm not the same man you married. What happened this afternoon makes it very clear that our separation is for the best. It's necessary.
No, I won't accept that.
It's becoming increasingly clear that I don't have full control over my emotions. So from now on, I'm gonna stay as far away from you as possible. I want to make sure that I can never harm you again.
You would never hurt me. I'm not afraid of you either, if that's what you're thinking.
Nicole, I'm afraid of me.
You do still love me, don't you?
I love you very much. That's why we have to talk about our separation.
No, we have to talk about ending it.
No. Making it permanent. Getting a divorce.
You don't mean that. And I'll tell you, I'm not going to consider it.
I know a lot of the things that I've said recently haven't been too coherent, but I'm not ranting now. This is well thought out.
It doesn't make any sense.
There's a very good reason for getting a divorce now, before anything else happens.
I am not going to let you leave me.
We got to do it now, Nicole, before it's too late and you don't have a choice anymore.
I don't understand.
Well, the law, see, there are laws that make it virtually impossible for a person to divorce a spouse who's mentally incompetent.
I don't want to hear you talk that way. It frightens me.
It scares the hell out of me, too. But it's true. I resisted it for a long time, but there's no denying what's happening to me. I've inherited my mother's illness.
No.
We both knew it was possible.
Yes, but you can't be sure.
Nicole, I'm displaying all the classic symptoms. At least now, I have periods of rationality, like this one. But they're gonna be fewer and farther between, and eventually I could lose all touch with the real world.
Well, that isn't gonna happen.
When that time comes, you're gonna be trapped, and you're not gonna be able to get rid of a husband who doesn't bear any resemblance to the man you married, and I don't want that for you.
Listen, you've got to fight this.
You can't just accept it. I'm not going to let you.
Don't want it to be this way. It's just the way it is.
Oh, no, it isn't. It isn't. Now, listen, you realize that it's the illness. It's the illness that's responsible for your actions, and all the things that you thought about me were true. They weren't real. Honey, you can get professional help, and then you'll be better again. You will.
That's not the answer.
How do you know?
So I've tried it, that's how.
What do you mean?
I went to see an old friend of mine. Psychiatrist named Allison Perry. Didn't do a bit of good.
How many times did you see her?
This once, that's enough.
Once? Therapy takes time.
I tried to talk to her, she just didn't understand.
We'll find somebody that you're comfortable with, somebody that you do trust.
She didn't know who was to blame for the way I am, or as I do. It's not my fault. It's yours. I'm doing you a big favor, Nicole, and you know it. You couldn't be happier, could you? Now you and Derek can play house, and that's just what you want, isn't it?
I just don't know what to do.
Get your divorce, Nicole. Go on, take the house. Take the cars, take all the money. I just want to get rid of you. You might as well do it, because I'm never coming back.
W. Parker, 25 Espy Street. Wow, Benny. Quite a few customers, this little boogabee. A bestseller down at headquarters. Last sale less than a month ago? He was still dealing while you were under indictment. 227 Willow. Deborah's. Mrs. Martha Corey. Gosh, Deborah wants to know about this.
You really shouldn't have clobbered me, lady.
Benny, I call the police. They're coming.
I wanted to be dead.
No, don't, Benny, please.
You like it? Run!
Please, don't. Oh, dear God, in the
You okay?
Yes. My parents are fine.
I called his house. His father said he wasn't there, that he might be working late. I can see he was.
Well, you've had a hard day, darling.
Go away.
You finally realized that this is the beginning of the end for you. You're going mad. Taking the same footsteps your mother took. The steps that lead to the insane asylum. What a pity.
Stop it.
It's just a matter of time before they crate you up and pack you off to some serene little institution.
I don't want that.
Well, no. I wouldn't think you would. I think rooms with padded walls are not very attractive. Of course, You'll probably be so doped up you won't even notice.
I can't take it.
Now, darling, if you think your future is bleak, what about poor Nicole?
I told her to get a divorce before it was too late.
Oh, come now. You know perfectly well she's not going to do that. That's not her character. She's too devoted. She's going to spend the rest of her life just waiting for you to get well, as hopeless as it seems.
I can't let her ruin her life like that.
Well, why not set her free then? And you too.
There isn't any cure for what I have.
Oh, darling, of course there is. Now come, you are a doctor. You know what you can do. And you have everything you need right here.
Yes. Everything I need. You're right. It's the only way.
Be selective about what you take, darling. Remember, it's not quality, it's quantity that counts here. Yes, now all you need is a nice, tall glass of cool water to wash all that down. Hurry up, darling. I'm waiting.
This is the book, Chief. It's from the Hayes Flower Shop on Concord Avenue. As you'll see, though, the book belongs to the son, Benny Hayes.
You'll notice that Benny was meticulous about keeping records.
Yes, he did it very neatly, too. It's too bad this kid didn't follow up his education. He might have become quite a bookkeeper.
I guess he thought there was better money in drugs.
Well, that's what the book is all about. Apparently it has every record of every sale that he's ever made.
You know, it's so strange. I've never heard of a pusher who keeps records, but it's terrific that you got it. It's just too bad that you had to go through such an ordeal to get it, Nancy.
The question is, can it be used against him? Even a halfway decent defense attorney would claim that the evidence was obtained improperly. That would make it inadmissible.
Honey, for some reason, I really don't feel guilty about that.
And you shouldn't, Mrs. Carr. You did this community and the department a great service, believe me.
Deborah, there's a reason I wanted you to see something in this book, too. Just a sec. It's a name that just rang a bell. Chief?
Martha Corey?
Yes.
Martha Corey? Oh, my God, it's true. It's my address.
You know this woman, Detective?
Yes, I do know this woman. Red, yellow, blue. Barbiturates. He sold her hundreds of barbiturates.
For what purpose, do you think?
So what would that old woman want drugs for?
It wasn't an old woman. It was Nola Madison.
know this sounds like absolute madness, and I guess madness is the perfect way to describe this woman's behavior. Although sometimes I think she's crazy like a fox.
Why didn't you tell me about this before?
Well, I never considered it police business, Chief. It was a personal vendetta, a little practical joke.
Deborah, there's nothing funny about feeding you barbiturates. I'd say we're talking about a criminal act.
Yes, how did she do this, Deborah? I mean, how did she manage to get you to take them?
She cooked for me, Nancy. She was my sweet, lovable, kind, motherly next-door neighbor.
Of course.
Boy, you know, it's really funny, come to think of it. The sicker I got, the more grateful I was for her kindness. The more I just let her do everything.
It could have been very dangerous, Deborah. I doubt if this woman knows much about drugs. She could have given you too much and killed you.
Are you really sure about Nola Madison?
She admitted it to me. I saw her the other day without her Mrs. Corey makeup in Mrs. Corey's apartment next door.
Good heavens.
She said she came over to pick up some of her stuff and move out since the joke was over.
Wait a minute. Didn't you say something about having seen Nola Madison on the night of the Dorn murder?
Now, Steve said he saw Mrs. Corey dressed up like Mrs. Corey the night of the murder, yeah. He tried to grab her to wipe the makeup off her face, but she got away. So now the makeup is gone, too.
Yeah, but not the crimes that she committed. We're going to have to do something about this.
Chief,
may I?
Oh, wait a minute. I don't think we should right now.
What are you talking about? This woman's worse than Benny Hayes.
Well, I don't think we ought to press charges on her right now. I think the publicity would be a very bad thing. And
Why
I
are you
think it would
trying
be
to protect her?
I'm not trying to protect her, Chief. Believe me, I am trying to protect myself.
Chief.
Somebody I love.
The very last entry in this book, the last transaction with Mrs. Corey, apparently took place December 28th, 1979. After the name are the letters SP.
SP, speed.
Amphetamine.
Yes. You're right. He sold quite a large quantity to this lady.
December 28th. Now, this is after Mrs. Corey moved out of the apartment. I hadn't seen her for a couple of days.
Now, would amphetamines produce the symptoms that you had, Deborah? Chief, do you think so?
Frankly, I don't know. I really don't know the symptoms.
Deborah, when you were ill, you saw a doctor, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw Miles Cavanaugh. He was just as baffled as to what the cause of my illness was as everybody else. Though he did ask me if drug abuse was the problem. Of course, I said no. I'm strictly an occasional aspirin type.
Yes, of course. Miles knows a lot about drugs, and since he was the one who looked at you personally, I think we better look deeper into this.
Couldn't do it, could you?
Go away. Go away.
Just didn't have the nerve. You know, it was the one thing, the only thing that could have spared Nicole the torment of watching you go stark staring mad, knowing that she's tied to you for the rest of her natural life.
It's wrong. It's wrong. Suicide is always wrong.
In your case, it would have been the right thing to do. A noble act. An act of pure sacrifice. Well, I guess you just aren't as noble as you thought you were.
I don't want to hurt Nicole. I told her to divorce me. I told her to divorce me now. Well, I still could appear sane.
You know she's not going to do that. She's not the type. She's the in sickness and in health type person. She's going to stand by you. She'll be there, visiting every Sunday at the nice little institution, smiling, trying to be cheery, chatting away, bringing presents, telling you all about little Adam and how he's getting bigger, and telling you all about Draper and April and all of your friends, and inside thinking, my God, I'm married to a lunatic. There's nothing for me to do. Unless, of course, he does the right thing, the thing his mother did.
No, I won't, damn it. I won't. Nicole needs me.
Needs you? Nicole needs you? You're a burden to her.
Oh, she needs me. She needs me. April needs me. Draper, I've got to get well. I've got to fight this. I've got to fight you.
Fight me? You can't fight me. Don't you know who I am? I'm you. I'm the dark side of you.
I will fight you till the day I die.
Come on, let me take your coat.
No, I really should keep my coat on. I can only stay a minute. I have an errand down at police headquarters.
I thought you said you were going to the studio.
No, well, yeah, I am going to the studio, but first I have to go to police headquarters.
Oh, something about a story or what?
My story, by any chance?
Oh, hi, Draper. No, it doesn't have anything to do with that. What's happening with the grand jury? Do you have any idea?
I have no idea. They're meeting right now. Of course, I can't be there to defend myself. It's strictly the DA's show.
Meaning Logan.
Yeah. He's presenting the case to the grand jury. That's ironic, isn't it? And there's a lot of irony floating around here. It's everywhere, like the flu.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And there's also a lot of unhappiness.
Hey, you've got enough troubles of your own. You don't have to listen to ours. Speaking of troubles, have you heard from Miles?
Yes, I saw him last night.
Well, how is he?
He's not much better.
God, Nicole, I wish you would call us. I don't have to tell you how difficult it is to get in touch with him.
April, I have called a doctor, a psychiatrist.
Oh, good.
It's an old friend of Miles, someone he used to know named Allison Perry. I should talk to her.
Yeah, you should. It's a good idea. Well, listen, let me just run up and get those papers for you, okay?
Okay.
Nicole, does your going to headquarters have anything to do with the fact that Miles attacked Mallory?
Yeah, I should talk to him.
But is he going to press charges?
I don't know. I can't be sure. I'm gonna make sure he doesn't.
Here you go. They are all here.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Listen, I've got to run. And I'll call you and see how you are. I'll be praying for you. Thanks. For both of you. Listen, will you take care of yourself? Okay? Oh, push yourself. All right. Logan, hi.
On your way out?
Yes, I am. Bye-bye.
Come on in.
May I? Thank you very much.
Well,
Here, your car.
DA himself.
Hi, Draper. I thought it'd be better if I came over instead of just telephoning. It's bad news, I'm afraid. Well, I didn't think it would be much of a surprise. There is some good news, though. At least I hope you'll see it that way. The indictment will not read murder one. I managed to present the case as unpremeditated.
Oh, terrific. So it's going to be second-degree murder, right?
Right.
And if Draper's convicted, he still goes to jail, but for 25 years instead of life. How could they do it? Logan, how could they actually believe that Draper is capable of doing such a horrible thing?
Come on, April. Logan's a real pro. He probably presented the case beautifully.
Draper.
Sorry.
I did what I could.
Logan, look, but you couldn't have told him what kind of a person Draper is. I mean, that he really couldn't possibly kill someone, let alone my own mother.
Come on, April, take it easy.
Well, it's just not fair to tell one side of the story.
It's not up to the grand jury to determine guilt or innocence, merely whether there's enough evidence to go to trial. And I can promise you that when he does go to trial, I will not be prosecuting
Oh, thanks. Who will?
Cliff Nelson, most likely. He's the obvious choice.
know.
I'll be in the courtroom to see that he fights fair.
Do me a favor. Let's just do it fast, all right? The sooner the better. April and I have to get back to some normal living around here. We have a lot to do with our lives. Got a baby to raise, right?
And you're really serious about this? You're not going to press charges against this old lady, even though she might have caused your death?
Chief, will you just let me wait a little while?
It's this Owen Madison you want to protect, isn't it?
Look, Chief, please. The publicity on this thing would be awful. I mean, it could ruin his career, you know? So why don't you just let me handle it my way? Please.
Mallory. Yes, you can send her in. I'm free now. We are through, then, aren't we, Detective?
Yes, I guess so.
Deborah, hi.
Nicole?
I guess you know why I'm here.
Our usual topic, I suppose. Your husband?
Derek, I'm really sorry about what Miles did, and I want to apologize for him.
Oh, you don't have to. I know he just lost his temper. He got it into his head that me issuing a warrant for Draper's arrest was a way of hurting him.
It's absurd. I know it's your job.
Well, I didn't enjoy it. I don't know Draper Scott very well, of course, but he seemed like nice enough type.
What I really wanted to tell you is that I'm going to try very hard to get professional help for Miles.
Oh, good. He needs it.
I've called a psychiatrist. It's an old friend of Miles, as it happens, and he's mentioned he's already talked to her.
Well, I hope she can do him some good. However, I think you might want to consider something a little bit more direct than just therapy.
Such as?
Oh, I'm sorry, Nicole. I shouldn't have even mentioned it. I'm a cop. I'm not a psychiatrist. And for all I know, a couple of hours on the couch and Miles might be his old self again. But I doubt it.
You think he should be in a hospital?
I'm sorry, Nicole. I shouldn't have opened my mouth.
Oh, it's all right. The truth is that Miles agrees with you.
Mallory? Yeah, I can talk to him. Put him on. What's happening, Newcomb?
Well, it's Doc Kavanaugh again, Chief. He went on another jag. Broke up his own office.
Good Lord.
Well, one of his patients came in for an appointment, heard what was going on, got scared, ran out. She told me something was going on in here. Thought maybe some junkies had busted in and were wrecking the place. But when I got here, it was just Doc Kavanaugh.
How is he?
Well, he's quiet now. He was crying a lot. I don't think he feels too good, Chief. But I thought I'd call you instead of the Psycho Squad.
No, don't call anybody else. Just stay there with him until I get there, okay?
Whatever you say.
Nicole, you're gonna have to excuse me. Something very important came up and I'm gonna have to go out.
Oh, of course. Thanks for talking.
I'm sorry.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Get my car ready. I'm going right out.
The grand jury's verdict, announced only moments ago, means that attorney Draper Scott will make his next court appearance as the defendant. The charge is murder in the second degree. Scott, associate of Michael Carr, is charged in the slaying of Margot Huntington Dorn, the owner and manager of television station WMON in Monticello, who was found in her penthouse apartment, bludgeoned with a fireplace instrument, in circumstances which cast suspicion upon her son-in-law. Whether or not a jury will decide that Draper Scott is guilty or innocent is a matter which District Attorney Logan Swift, admittedly a close friend of the defendant, has promised will be decided with all possible speed. More news in a moment, but first this message.
It's all over by the shouting.
Is it?
Well, you heard what I heard.
Well, I knew they'd indict Draper Scott. What could be more obvious?
And anything that obvious to a grand jury?
Look, Elliot, I'm still not convinced that your problems are over.
I wasn't aware I had any problems. As a matter of fact, thanks to that young man's very hot temper, I have fewer problems now than I had before. That sounds callous, doesn't it?
Not just callous, it was very foolish. I hope you don't make such statements in public, considering the ridiculous weakness of your alibi.
Why do you concern yourself so much about my alibi? Only suspects need alibi. And I'm not the suspect, Mother. Look, if you're concerned about my lily-white innocence, please put those worries and concerns aside. I could no more harm Margot than...
Than Draper Scott? Do you think your natures are so much different?
I abhor violence. Well, here's to Draper.
Oh, Elliot, don't be vile.
Look, Nola, don't worry so much about Draper. He'll be okay. The court will be very lenient with him. You'll be surprised how many friends he has in Monticello. They'll just send him to prison for, a few years. And we'll be happily married for the rest of our years.
What do you say, Doc? You want these aspirin?
No, just leave me alone, would you?
I thought doctors always recommended aspirin. I'll get you some water. It's a good thing you didn't smash this up, too. Here. Go ahead, Doc. It can't hurt. Hello, Chief.
Hello, Phil. I'll stay with him. You can go now.
Sure, Chief.
Miles. Miles, look at me.
You got guts, Derek. I'll say that. Aren't you afraid I'll go for your throat again? You think I'm no match for you, is that it?
What happened here, Miles?
It's my office. I decided to redecorate it. Is there a law against that?
You still don't believe I want to help you, do you?
Is that why you sent your cop over here to help me?
It's one of your patients that sent for the policeman, not me. But, you know, it's a funny thing. I was going to come by anyway. You said you'd be free for consultations, didn't you?
Leave me alone, would you? I'm very tired.
Miles, Deborah Saxon told me that you were aware Nola Madison was dressing up as an old hag and living across the hallway from her. Is that true? Do you know that?
Yes.
We found out something more. She wasn't just spying on Deborah. She was feeding her small quantities of barbiturates. Were you aware of that, too?
Yes, I was. She promised me that she would stop.
In your opinion, is that why Deborah's been ill?
That was the reason. Yes, they were small doses, but they made her, Deborah, drowsy, tired. They caused weakness, fainting.
What about amphetamines, Miles?
What?
What effect would amphetamines have had upon Deborah?
She wasn't giving her amphetamine.
How can you be sure of that?
Because I'm sure the symptoms are different.
What would the symptoms have been?
Amphetamines. She would have been agitated and sometimes excited, euphoric, more often depressed. She wouldn't have been able to sleep. Sometimes, if she'd gotten too much of the stuff, she might display psychotic reactions. She would act strangely.
Acted how?
Well, sometimes with overdoses of amphetamines, people have symptoms like schizophrenia, paranoia.
Paranoia?
Yes. You know, you think people are plotting against you, people are out to hurt you, things like that.
You mean even family, wife,
Yes.
husband?
People get delusions. Anybody, exaggerated suspicions.
Even jealousy, Miles?
Yes, sure.
Miles, is Nola Madison aware that you knew what she was doing to Deborah?
Yes, I warned her. I said to her that she had to stop living in that apartment house, that she was not to go near Deborah again. If she did, I would blow the whistle on her. I'd tell the police. I told her right here in this office.
Right here? When was this?
Please, no more now, really. I'm not in any condition for this.
Miles, I've got to know when Nola Madison was here in this office. Was it on or around December 28th?
It was before New Year's, I think. Yeah, it was just before New Year's. I remember because Nicole called me and wanted to know something about a New Year's Eve party. I didn't want Nola over here, so I took the call in the outer office.
You left Nola Madison in here alone?
Yes, please, Susan. My head is killing me.
Seems as though a harmony is hard to find, always on our mind, and frustrated days pass without sight, the edge of night, half dark, half light, as we watch our hearts